Good afternoon, Flosstube. It's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. I want to welcome all of you to my channel today. I'm very glad that you stopped by to visit with me. Today, I want to go over with you my current whips. These are my works in progress, the things that I'm actively stitching on. Some are further along than others. Some are getting close to being finished, so I'm doing a little more focus, a little more time on those pieces, and I'll get to those in just a moment. Last week after filming, I shared with all of you my recap of 2024, all of my finishes, whips, fully finishes from 2024. And there was one when I was cleaning up, I realized I didn't share with you. It was counted in with my totals, but it was a start I made that I put into my current whip basket because I would like to finish it this year. So I'll share that with you as well. And there were also a few other things that I have a certain place when I film in my stitch room that I put things that are new, maybe something that I bought, something that I finished, that kind of thing, so that I know when I'm filming that these are things that I haven't shared. So there were a few things up there from the end of last year that I had purchased, a couple of things that I had kitted up, and I wanted to share those with you as well. So let's get started. We're going to start with my whips. I made a start yesterday on May 1st, and this is a stitch along with my friends that we affectionately call each other the Giggles, Mary, Natasha, and April. And we originally were going to do something Christmas, and then I ordered a new kitted something up, and was so excited about it. I started it last month. So I had to start something new. So I pulled out something I've been wanting to start for some time. I purchased it during a trunk show at Barefoot Needle Arts last year, and this is Little Robin Designs, the Charming Cow Sampler. So I don't have a lot to share with you, but trunk shows, love trunk shows. You've got those patterns right there in front of you, the finished items, the framed pieces and all their glory. And it is so, I love trunk shows. I did not have a single design from this designer at that time, and I had been looking at her market releases that will be coming out soon, and I just love the colors. I just want more. Let's just say that. I want more hers that designs. But again, this is the Charming Cow Sampler. And like I said, I started it yesterday, so I don't have a whole lot of progress. Let me see what's right. This is the front. So this is a hand-dyed fabric. I don't know the fabric dyer, but this is Caramel Macchiato is the color. And it's 32 count, it's a Lugana. I'm not sure, I don't like the thickness. I like the even, but I don't like the thickness of Lugana as much as I used to. I think I just purchased this fabric at the time because I really love the color. And it wasn't exactly what was called for, but it was very similar. But these are my starts, so you kind of get an idea of what the colors are like. So you have an outer band of balsam, which is a dark, dark green. And then the inner is, I think it's begonia, which is the inner border is a bright pink. And so you've got the light teal blue in there. So the colors are really great. And I look forward to doing a little more. So I started it yesterday, probably around afternoon, and we had some running around to do, and I had some Cinderella chores to do around the house, so I got to all of that. And I really sat down, and you know that feeling you get when you're stitching and you're just really in the groove. You're enjoying what you're doing, you're making progress, you're focused. It was 12 o'clock before I knew it. And you can really tell because of the progress that I made. So when I got up this morning, I did put a few more stitches, a few more threads, I think about 3 threads, because I wanted to get over to the right-hand side because I plan on working on something else this evening. And so I wanted to get to that corner because I would be putting it away for a little bit. So that's a great segue into my next one, the one that I want to work on this evening. And this is Shannon Christine Designs Christmas Manor. I've shared this on Instagram. I've been working on this over a year. This is the Christmas piece, the giggles, and I started last year. I think it was just Mary and myself that started this one. And I'm really close to a finish. So I really focused on this one last weekend, before and after the video that I filmed. And I am close to a finish. So I really just have this white decorator border beneath the deer and to finish up this flower pot, and I'll be done. So let me share it with you. I'm in love with this one. I can't wait to get it finished and framed. So this will be what goes on my frame this evening to work on. And you can see I have 2 or 3 rows, I think 3 rows of the bottom white of the snow. And I think there's 21 total rows. So I will suggest to you, because this I'm using, I don't think it calls, I don't have my pattern, I just have the pattern cover. My pattern's on my stitch stand. But my suggestion to you, if you're gonna purchase this or have purchased it, I would go ahead and get at least 2, if not 3 skeins of the B5200 for the white. So it is that really shocking bright white, and it's really great. This is not the called for fabric. This is a 32 count. I don't know if it's Jobelin or Lugana. I think it's Jobelin, and it's olive. It's by Zweigert. The reason I chose an even weave with this one was because of the white. White stitches, my white stitches, when I stitch them, they never seem to really lay very well. I don't know why that is, but that way I can throw it on the frame. It's even, so you don't have the larger, the variation of the stitches size due to linen. So there's no slubs, there's no skinny threads within the weave of the fabric. This is just an even weave, and it worked perfectly with this. But again, not the called for, it is 32 count. And I hope to have a finish with you to share with you next weekend. Oh, the other one fell on the floor. I'll put that up. They both fell. Okay. So now we're going to move on to my second love at the moment. Let me put these 2 patterns away. And this, let me go back to this. This is the project folder that I have Christmas Manor in. And this is from MischievousStitches. I absolutely love the project folders. There's different ones. This one comes with a zippered pouch clear zipper pouch on one side and just a sleeve on the other side, so you can put you know, your scissors, your thread beds, that kind of thing. This one actually even come with a thread bed as well as a needle minder. I love these too. I just don't happen to be using the thread bed on this pattern, but I love these bags. So if you don't own one, check her out. They're on Etsy. And then what else do I have? What was I going to go into next? Oh, my second current love. This one I have been stitching in hand, and I've been able to take this and get in a stitch or 2 in moments when I'm away from home. So I kind of have had this one stuck in the side of my purse, and I work on it when I get a spare moment, whether it's in the car, at lunch, that kind of thing. And this is Praiseworthy Stitches Christmas gift. Is it Christmas gifts? Simple Gifts. Simple Gifts Christmas. This is the one I kitted up to start with the giggles, and I was so excited. I started it at the beginning of last month before, I think it was the week before I attended the Barefoot Needle Arts February retreat. So when you saw it last, I had finished page 1 and had crossed over into page 2, And now I have crossed over into page 3. I love finding the corners, so I found corner number 2 this week and started page number 3, and I'm hoping to work down to page 4. So there's gonna be 9 pages here. The last 3 pages are partial pages, but it's stitching up relatively fast. I'm using the call for colors. They're all 3, let's see, are they all 3? They're all 3 sampler threads, I believe. Let me make sure before I say that and I'm wrong. Nope, they're not. So you've got 2 sampler threads and 1 weeks. It's moss, sampler threads, moss, weeks dye works, whiskey, and let's see what the red is. And it's another weeks dye works. Indian Summer. So there's the colors there. Let's see, you can see it better. Right here. Love them. So let me share with you the piece. Look at that. I'm in love with this one. So this right-hand side, the page 3 that I'm working on now, that motif, they're all Quaker motifs, not all, mostly Quaker motifs with, you can see some words in there. I finished, started the word rejoice this week. I think the page break was somewhere right in here. So I've finished up, this is page 2, over to page 3, got to that corner, and this is a really big motif, Quaker motif I'm working on. So it looks to be tulips, and there's gonna be, I think, 4 green tulips and 1 bright red in that Indian Summer. And that's gonna make up the majority of page 3. But as I said, I'm hoping, keeping my fingers and my stitches crossed, that next week I'm gonna be able to drop down and start on page 4 and have more to share with you next week. So again, I didn't tell you the fabric. So the fabric color is mocha. It's 32 count mocha. I have up to this time loved 36 because I love stitching with 1 strand, but my eyesight is slowly weakening. I did have an eye appointment this week, and they said I can continue doing what I'm doing, but my left eye is a good bit weaker than this one. I'm not sure what contributes to all that, but I'm trying to be mindful. And all you young ladies out there, I wasn't as mindful as I should have been when I was young. Take some advice from this older lady. Lighting is your friend. Use it. There you go. Okay, let me put this away, and what's next? So next is another sow, and this is the red squirrel, Bristol Squirrel sampler. And this is going to be an ongoing project. So this is year 2 with this one that I've actively worked on, this piece. And this is on a piece of 30, I think this one's 36. It's either 32 or 36. Dune by Atomic Wrench. And here's where I'm at. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. So I have made a good bit of progress here too. So the last time I shared it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I have added, so my plan is to work down to the center motif. The focus point of this sampler is the squirrel, and it's going to fall right in here. So I have page 1 completed, page 2, the motifs I've started. This is not going to be easy. I'm going to stand up. Yeah, much better. So I've tried to bring this page over. So this is page 2, because I want to keep working down until I get to the squirrel. Another one of the sale participants did her squirrel, and I loved, that was a great idea. So I'm borrowing it. But I've primarily worked here. So when you last saw it, I think I had one of these circles here. I completed that, started this row, and I worked up here, brought this over, brought a few letters over here, and then a couple of these numbers working into page 2. So I think what I'm going to do in the coming weeks, I'm going to continue to work up top again so I can work down to the squirrel. The squirrel is right here, so I still have to work into, what would this be, 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many pages go over. This is my second page going vertically, so I will have to move over some to begin the squirrel. So I'm going to work, let's just say that quadrant. Oh, I'm showing you the wrong side. Lord have mercy. There you go. Didn't look much different, did it? But I'm going to continue to work in this area here. I'm not going to go down because I want to work towards that squirrel. So that's going to be one of my goals. So now let me get down and get back over here with you. Oh, let's put this one up. This one's like is like a lap. It's like a lap blanket. I may have to sell off some cross stitch patterns and fabrics just to get that one framed when the time comes. Okay, and my last current project that I have been actively working on is Bluebirds and Bluebells. And I am not gonna lie, I'm struggling with this one for some reason. I love the fabric, I love the fabric color, I love the colors, I love the pattern cover, but I keep making mistakes. It's not a pattern issue, it's a Lori issue. And I don't know why, because I'm not doing it with the others. So I originally started it at the Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat with my friend Teresa. Hey Teresa, we are stitching on this together. She is a good bit further because I was late to the start. And I had started it down here, and I gave myself too big of a margin and put the border in and was trying to get to my corners because I love looking for corners, and I didn't have enough fabric. Did all the measurements, and guess what? Lori had made the wrong placement, which I know me better, and it was my fault because I know better than to try. I have lost my needle. See, this piece, it's this piece. I'll have to find it. Any hoosies, let's go back to this. I'll worry about that after the video. So, started it down here. You can't see, did you? I just used a little brush, brushed those holes, ripped everything out. I rarely use a seam ripper, but there was that much stitching. I had maybe 4 flowers, the vine at the corner, and ripped it out. I knew that if I put it down, I would not pick it up again. So that same night, when I realized my mistake, I went ahead and flipped it over. Oh, there's another thread. I went ahead and flipped it over and started and placed it correctly because I didn't want to put it down and never pick it up again. So I got a good bit of progress. So it took me 2 nights to rip what I had out, but I would stitch a couple threads, remove a few threads, stitch a couple threads, and got good progress. And we're stitching along. We had made an agreement to stitch along on Tuesday night. Tuesdays are for Teresa. I worked on this one about 4 days last week, just trying to correct and get some progress back in. So flash forward to this past Tuesday, I sat down, I stitched. Again, I'm over here trying to seek my corner, and I thought that night, Don't push it. Just do a little along. I snap a picture. I get up the next morning. Teresa and I are speaking like we do most mornings. Here's my progress. I could see in the picture, guess what? Look closely at this. If you can see, it's not centered. I'm off by one thread. So I have to reverse stitch all this vine. So it's not in timeout because again, I'm concerned if I put it in timeout, I'll never come back to it. So my goal is Tuesday is to do, when we stitch together, I'm gonna remove it all the way back and maybe drop down into the sampler itself so that I'll keep stitching. So thanks for all the support and the prompting from all of you when I posted my mishaps on Instagram. We've all been there, and it's great to have the support of your stitch friends because they know exactly how it feels. So I've spent enough time talking about that negativity. Let's move up to some fun. I have a group of friends that loves to holler, Sal, and there was some salling going on at the end of the year, and this is one of them. So I'm at a 24 hours of cross stitch event with some friends, and we're talking about other floss tubers and the things that they finished and this and this and this. So I have a friend, Barbara, who shared with us, I can't remember the floss tuber, I'm sorry, that recently finished this piece. And this is Glendon Place, Sir Thomas. Now I have a Sir Thomas that's a whip, but it's a Not Forgotten Farm. This is a Glendon Place, and it's full of the fancy threads and the beads. And let me share them with you. So here are the thread. This is the thread pack. And this is the bead pack. I love a turkey. Not within our state, there's a Wild Turkey Federation, and I can remember when my girls were in Girl Scouts, we traveled to the Wild Turkey Federation. It was really interesting to learn more about the wild turkeys in my state, and so I do have an affection for turkeys. While there, and I'm kidding it up, I also bought one of Barefoot Needle Art's bag. You can still see their tag on it, just to go with Sir Thomas. I did not buy the fabric because I had just bought fabric, and I want to share that fabric with you too. So I was at a nonstop stitching retreat. It's a local shop owner here in South Carolina, and she was having, oh my gosh, who is the, I cannot remember whether her trunk show was Rogue or Tom and Ranch, but I bought some fabrics, and I don't believe they have the colors on them. Yes, they do. And it is a Tom and Ranch. So this is cobblestone. Isn't that pretty? And this is it's a 32 count. It's a Lagana again. And I think it's gorgeous. I love grays. This has a little bit of tan in it. And then this one is Embellish. And this one, this may be the one I do Sir Thomas on. This is actually Lap and Loops, and this is Earl Grey tea, and it's hot Earl Grey tea. Look at that. This one's big enough. This will probably be Sir Thomas. And this is Storm, and it's a Tom at Ranch. And this is a 32 count, and it's a Lugana. Can you tell I love grays? This one is, let's see my tag. I don't see a tag, but I believe this is a 32 count as well. And it's another model gray, very similar to this. I think this is the same, that's why. I believe this is the same fabric, I just had her cut it. So those there. And then I have a couple of kits. What is this? This is, oh, this was a card. This is Lizzie Kate. It's an old one. Whine a bit, you'll feel better. I need to stitch these up for some gifts. This one I saw stitched up at the October Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat. Someone had gifted, Denise had given this away as a smalls exchange. It's a lot bigger than this picture, of course, but it was so adorable. So I wanted to stitch one up for myself. And because I spent so much time at Barefoot Needle Arts last year, I decided I really got turned on to beach themed stuff. Beach themed cross stitch, beach themed perforated paper kits, but swashbuckling Santa. Love it, love it, love it. And what else do I have in here? So these were some couple of things that I bought at the retreat last month. The one piece come off of the freebie table, and that was this one. And I love poinsettia and love to stitch them, but this is just a letter L. It was, I'm sure at one point it was kitted up with N-O and E for Noel, just like here. But I got that because it was my initial. And this is a local designer. This is Sweetheart by the Gardener's Needle, Miss Susan. And I bought a piece of fabric for this. I'm putting my glasses back on. And this is 32 count linen in the road fabric, and this is Morning Lilacs. It is not the called for, it's just what they have. I think the called for color is Under the Sea Fabrics, Spellbound, but I love this one. It's gonna work just as well, but isn't that just adorable? So I'm gonna work on that. And then I bought a piece of just remnant fabric, little ornament piece. Someone passed on another one of the quirky smalls, and I did that. And I didn't know if I shared this with you all. So this was the retreat piece, and this is Summers at the Beach, and this is by Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. And all the threads, look at the colors, they're just gorgeous. And again, I didn't need to buy the fabric because I knew I had that fabric that I purchased before, so I kept that to myself, did not buy those. Let me put this back in here. And this is another Barefoot Needle Arts bag. My husband and I did a quick trip down to Barefoot back in November, and no, it was the 1st of December. And I had picked up this copy of this magazine, and my ideas were to stitch one or two of these for the smalls exchange there at the February retreat, because a lot of times things are Valentine's themed. I didn't stitch anything. Still in this bag. I didn't kit it up because I knew I had the supplies at home. I just really love this blue Christmas bag. And I think that's it for today. So I've shared with you all of my current WIPs. So in this coming week, my plans are to, on my Teresa Sal, I'm going to remove that vine and try to get more progress. Maybe exceed the progress that I have at the moment. I want to work more on Christmas gifts, and tonight I will be working on Christmas Manor. So those are my loose plans. And I will be back next weekend to share again. Thanks for dropping by and spending a few moments of your weekend with me. I appreciate all the comments and all the love, and I want to share my love back with you guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.